Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar on what it's like to work for a Silicon Valley company. I'm so glad to have all of you here with me tonight. My name is Beatriz, but everyone here at BairesDev calls me B or Bea. I'm from Belo Horizonte, Brazil, but I'm actually living in another city now, a city called São José dos Campos, 1 hour away from São Paulo, also in Brazil. I've been working at BairesDev for, I believe, a little longer than 2 years now. And right now I'm a employer brand analyst, as you can see there on your screen, which means I host all types of cool events and initiatives here in the company, like at our monthly webinars. Some of you might have seen me before here. We are going to have another special guest with us tonight. As you can see, Marcus will be joining us soon and introducing himself. But before we move on, I said I'm from Brazil. I'd like to know where you're from. So please drop a comment either on LinkedIn or YouTube saying which city or which country are you from. I see that we have some answers. I'm going to go back and check them later because since this is a live event, there's a little bit of delay. So it might take a while for your comments to show up here for me. Well, while I wait for them, let me just give a clear view on tonight's scope, okay? So basically, to start, I'm going to give a quick introduction on BairesDev, followed by the conversation with our guest, who is a software engineer from BairesDev that works for a very, very big Silicon Valley company. It's an amazing client. I'm not going to give any spoilers yet. He's going to give all the details later. So stay tuned. And well, after that, we are going to give you some tips so you can also find your remote job working for a Silicon Valley company. And if you have any questions about BairesDev, our hiring process, working remote, working for the Silicon Valley, or anything about Marcus's experience, or maybe anything else related to this webinar topic, don't hesitate to drop a comment, leave a comment either on YouTube or LinkedIn, so we can check them during the Q&A session that we're going to have at the end, okay? So, starting and talking about BairesDev. So a few of you might not know us yet. And so I felt the need of giving a quick introduction on the company. BairesDev is a tech solutions company, a software outsourcing company that was founded in 2009 by Paul Azurin and Nacho DeMarco. We are a very flexible, dynamic, young company. And ever since the day we started, we've been working very, very hard to offer an exciting environment for high-performing tech professionals, so they can display their talents, share their knowledge. And as I said, we are a remote-first company, and that makes us able to bring together high-performing professionals from all over the globe, breaking down geographical barriers, and always creating diverse teams, truly diverse teams, to support the needs of our clients and with excellence, and while also being recognized and trusted for employing the most talented professionals in the IT market. So again, I asked about where you're from. Here's a few places where our talent comes from, talking about eliminating those geographical barriers. In BairesDev, we believe in the power of remote work to empower professionals around the globe. We were always determined to find the top 1%, the best tech talent, but we knew that those people wouldn't be in a single country, a single city. That would not be possible. So ever since day one, we've been working remotely, and currently we have people working from, I don't know, maybe, if I'm not mistaken, more than 40 countries right now, over 600 cities, which is a lot. And again, I'm going to go back to your comments. I see people from Argentina. I see people from Ecuador, Brazil, Guatemala. Okay. Let me see. Chile. Yeah, a lot of places. So, guys, if you too want to join the global workforce and work remotely with us, stay tuned. At the end of this webinar, I'm going to share a link so you can apply to our openings and find your dream job, okay? Until then, let's dive deeper into the topic of today's webinar. So, talking about Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is not just a physical location in California. It's more like a hub of innovation, you know. It represents the heart of the global tech industry, attracting some of the brightest minds, that's all I can say, from around the world. The Valley is home to numerous tech giants, a lot of great companies, startups, ventures, cutting edge research institutions. Well, so it's a hotbed for groundbreaking ideas, revolutionary technologies, and the culture in Silicon Valley emphasizes risk taking, collaboration, pushing boundaries. So it's a very exciting place to be for true tech enthusiasts. It offers a lot of opportunities for learning, growth, and since we're talking about like brightest minds, challenging projects, well, we can assure that it also accelerates professional development, fostering this development where ideas are nurtured, bold, like bold dreams are pursued there. You know, like uh, there's a lot of advancements, a lot of things becoming reality in this place. And being part of a Silicon Valley company means being at the forefront of innovation at the fast-paced tech industry. So it's a chance to work with a lot of great people, collaborate with a lot of brilliant minds, as I've been saying, and tackle some of the world's most complex challenges, tech challenges. So right now, I would like to invite our guest Marcus to join us and introduce himself, so we can learn a little more about the amazing experience of working for Silicon Valley. Hey, Marcus, thanks for joining. It's a pleasure to have you here with us tonight.
Okay, great. Thank you, B. Thanks for having me here. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about myself, about my career, about my experience, and how I joined this client. Okay. So first of all, I am from Belo Horizonte. I am from the same city as B, and I'm going to try to make a long story short because I have been working with IT for over 20 years as a software developer and also as a manager. So it has been a long journey. So I'm going to try to make like short, okay? So I started working as a software developer when I was 17 years old for a startup here in Brazil. It was an outstanding experience, the first experience we never forget, right? So when I joined the company, it had like only 10 people. And when I left, the company had like 150. So it was a great opportunity to be part of that. And after that, I also worked for more two companies as a software developer. So it was like my main career it was as a software developer. But after around 12 years, I got an invitation to become a manager. And in the same company, I also was promoted to a CTO. It was just a startup. When I joined it as a manager, I had to lead like around 12 people. And when I became a CTO, I had like 20 people that I had to manage. After working like around for 18 years, I decided to take a break in my career. So I decided to do a round the world trip. It was like the best experience in my life. So I
I'm
visited.
jealous.
Oh, I really,
Sorry.
that's my advice for everybody. I think that everybody should do something like that. I really recommend. It was really awesome. I was able to visit like around 20 countries, but unfortunately, COVID came and I had to go back to Brazil. That was a little bit sad, but even though it was an awesome experience.
Yeah, but like
After
you came back to Brazil. I'm sorry, like I'm interrupting you, but like you came back to Brazil and you had like the best brigadeiros in the world again. So it's a win-win situation.
Oh, yes, yes. To be honest with you, everybody asked to me, "Oh, okay, what is the best country in your opinion?" And I'm always gonna say Brazil is the best one. I I have been around 30 countries till now, but Brazil is the best place for me, at least for me, right? But it's also the only place that we have pagode. It's some kind of music that we have in Brazil, so that's why I love it.
Marcos,
But
let me. Oh, sorry.
sure,
Go
sure,
ahead.
you can do.
No, I was gonna like ask you a little bit because you said like that you've been working in a lot of different places, visiting the like the world. Did you join BairesDev during the pandemic?
After the pandemic, after
Oh,
the
after.
trip, so it was during the pandemic because after my trip, what I realized is so I started to think what I really wanted. And so I started to think, okay, I really love coding. It's something that I really love to do it. And I didn't want to have another job as a manager or as a CTO because when I was a CTO, I couldn't code. I had so many things to do it. So I decided, oh, I don't want to have another job like that. I want to code. That's my
Mhm.
goal. And I also want to work remotely because I want not just to travel to another countries, but I also want to live in another countries. And that
Mm.
it's very important for me right now. And I also wanted to work for a huge company. And so during the pandemic, I started to look for a companies, and I find out BairesDev, and I find out everything that I needed here. So I joined Pinterest like 2 years ago. So the client that I am working for is Pinterest. It's awesome. The work that I'm doing, it's like I love my job. To be honest with you, it's like not just because we are in this webinar, and I have everything that I needed. And regarding the remote job, I was able to like in the past 12 months, I was able to live in 3 different countries. So I lived for 6 months in the US, 2 months in Chile, and right now I am living in Brazil. So it's awesome.
Oh, amazing! Yeah. Like, how was the hiring process experience? Because I mean, yeah, like after you joined, we got that you got to keep traveling, which is one of your passions, if I can call it like that. But how was the hiring process? Tell me a little bit about the steps. Was it fast? How did it work for you? Did you have many interviews with different clients? Did you only have like, the interview with the client that you were assigned? What happened?
Sure. So I'm first of all, I'm gonna talk about my experience. Each person can have different experience, right? So in my experience, like it took from the start till start working for the client. So it took around, I believe, 2 months, something like that.
Mhm.
So I took a few steps. First of all, I had to sign up in the BairesDev portal. I have to sign up for a few jobs, and then I got the invitation to do a few interviews regarding hard skill and also a few soft skills by BairesDev. After that, I got an email saying that I was approved by BairesDev, and but I was not ready to start working because they still need to find out a client for me to work on. After that, I had to do a few interviews. So for different clients, I believe that I did 4 interviews, and
Mhm.
I had to do like 2 technical interviews. And then one of them, it was exactly BuyerSF, or it was exactly Pinterest. Sorry for that. And then they did a proposal for me to join as a SRE. So it was like for site reliability engineer. To be honest, I didn't have so much experience in this area, but I knew that I could learn a lot, and they wanted to hire me, and I said, "Oh, okay, let's do it." And so that worked very well for me. Oh, and just one thing to add about the hiring experience. It was because for the all the tests that I did, and this I think that it was very nice from BioSdev. I did the challenge code, and they paid me like $50 just for doing the code, just for doing.
Amazing.
So I said, "Oh, it
We
was
don't want to
nice."
waste your time here. Come on. Yeah,
Oh,
that was amazing. Like, yeah, and I like one thing that you said, like, because you didn't know, like, had a lot of experience back then for that specific role, but as you said, you showed that you were willing to learn, that you had other skills that could be like could be useful for this opening. And I believe this is something really good, that the fact that you also mentioned the soft skills, because it's not about like checking all the boxes in a job description only for us. Like we are trying to find like the best project to the person and match them together. So I mean, are you happy with your current project? Do you think that we did a good job matching you with the project?
I love my current. I really love. I really love, but I love Pinterest. First of all, I really love my job. So it was something that it was decided between me, Pinterest, and also BairesDev. So it's exactly like you said. It's if I because I didn't know everything at the time, but I was able like to take some course and to learn really fast. So and Pinterest also it was able like to teach me a lot of things, and also BairesDev give me a lot of support on that. So it was awesome.
Okay, so like this process, like integrating you with the client, like the relationship like you have with BairesDev and the client, it seems like a very like a smooth process where we have to like integrate into their process, their projects, and all of that, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, and the clients like when I say it's awesome, it's exactly like I have a great relationship with my manager from BairesDev and also from Pinterest. And in my trip to the US, I was able to meet my manager. So it was
Oh,
awesome.
that's great.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
able to meet
Yeah,
him. We
like
were
this
able to
meeting
chat.
people from remote work is really amazing. Like I mean, we often bond and share fun moments online, but it's always like very cool when we can meet people. Unfortunately, as I said, we are from the same city, but we never got the chance to meet because I moved to a different city. But that will happen soon, probably. So let me just and I have something else to add. You said like I love Pinterest. Who doesn't? Like I love Pinterest. I have the app installed in my phone. Haha. Okay, I'm just kidding, guys. So let's move a little bit forward on that. I'm sorry, I couldn't resist. What do you enjoy most about like working for a Silicon Valley company? Like, is there any specific moments or processes that you really appreciate that are different than working from like other types of companies in the industry?
Okay, so yeah, regarding the Silicon Valley, so it's like it was really nice because my previous experience it was like only in startups, and I have never worked for a so huge company, and it's really nice. One of the things like people are very nice, and just like you said, they are very intelligent. So it's really nice, like when you are talking with people and they get things really fast and you have a lot to learn. One of the things that I love most is learning, and they are always open to teach you, to help you, to support you. So it's really 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 nice. Besides of that, just like I said, I was able. I think I didn't mention, but I was able to visit the headquarters of Pinterest in San Francisco. The office is like it's awesome. You have like a great infrastructure, so it's awesome. You have free beers, you have Coke, you have chocolate, you have a lot of things. But again, I'm talking about those things, but I'm not saying that it's easy. Okay, they work like we
Okay,
work a lot.
tell your boss that if I'm going to the US, I'm going there. I need them to open the door for me. I need some chocolate. I need like to see what it looks like. Come on. Show me pictures
Oh,
later if you have any.
I do have a lot of pictures. I do have a lot of pictures, and everybody's awesome. It's really nice.
Amazing. Let me ask you something because you said you were working for a few startups before, and is this your first international experience, like with projects all over the world, or not?
Yeah, this is my first international experience. So, well, for the first startup that I worked, so they were it was a Brazilian company and they started to go abroad, but it's my first experience for an international company. And it's very different. So one of the things that I liked a lot because I could improve my English out of that, like I only talk in English like when I travel abroad and like in bars or something like that. But it was really nice. And also with the now I could learn like from Pinterest, I could learn a lot of things that I had no idea that exist. I don't know how many companies have some process that I learned from Pinterest, like to drive postmortem documents, process the code yellow process, error budget, and things like that. That I think that only a huge company such as Pinterest is gonna have like this kind of experience.
Yeah. Like one thing that you said, like besides the English level, because my English has improved a lot after I started working here at BairesDev too. But I love also the fact that if you're working in like this international project, it's a multicultural project, you get to learn a lot from people in other cultures. And since you like traveling so much, you probably like that aspect too. I love it. I love learning about like holidays and like traditions, and even like the way of working. It's very different from one place to another. So as you said, they're like teaching, willing to teach you a lot. But I believe like it's a like a two-sided like way here, like we are also teaching and learning all the time, because we are exchanging so much, and like some tips and some like processes and tools and everything that like we wouldn't be able to know if we were like stuck in our city working in an office. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Plus,
exactly. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
no,
but
go ahead.
no, yeah, it's exactly that. So we can teach them, and just something that you said. So they are very collaborative, and just for to have an idea, like my boss, they so each semester we decide, oh, we are gonna work on that, but we don't have the exactly scope for that. You
Mhm.
need like, oh, we're gonna work on that. You need to create your own tasks. You need to write your own scope. You need to decide what you're gonna do. So it's awesome. And we also help them because it's like, just like you said, it's you have different cultures, and I think that it's exactly what they are looking for.
Yeah, those different backgrounds are really useful for when you need to be creative, like such in those cases, because sometimes you meet a dead end, and someone else with a different background, a different view on like a different perspective on that issue will figure out like a fascinating way of solve the problem. So I really love that about like and this is also something that remote works will provide to us, like not only like the flexibility and the possibility to travel and to work with like for because that's the thing, like if you're working for international projects, maybe like you're gonna be like dealing with different challenges, different like perspectives. And also it's gonna help with the salary, because sometimes the currency like helps a lot if you're working for an international project and all of that. But I believe like this thing that remote works allows us to have the whole world at the palm of our hands. Like we have like access to so many things, so too much information to be honest sometimes, but like it's all very rewarding, because I always like to learn new things and try new things too. So I think that's lovely. Plus, like I got to still do that. Like I'm not traveling physically like you. I'm gonna probably add this to my like bucket list for next year. We are at the end of the year. It's time for me to make my 2024 resolutions. So I'm gonna add like travel a little more there. But like even when I'm not traveling, like being able to work from home. I mean, from anywhere. In my case, home. Like I get to be with my cats. I got to, like I don't waste time commuting. I get to do the laundry in the middle of the day, things that like save me time at the end of the day, like that I wouldn't be able to do if I were working on an office. Well, we don't have a lot more time, but I would like to add a final question here for you and then move to the Q&A session. So, hey, audience, if you're there, if you're like listening to us, please drop your questions. We're gonna answer them very soon. But like, Marcus, what advice would you give? And this is a very personal question. But what advice would you give to someone, like to a software engineer who aspired to work for a Silicon Valley company, who aspired to go to the next level projects as you were working with the small startups, and then like a big company with big projects and bigger challenges?
Okay. So first of all, I would say don't be afraid to try. This is something that I say a lot. You don't need to have like 20 years of experience, because I have some people in my team that doesn't have that, and they are also still in college. So, but you really need to study. So I would say study a lot. You should, like, if you want to be a software developer, it's not just to know language A or language B. You also need to study a little bit of algorithms. You need to be flexible. Just for example, in my experience in Pinterest, I had to work with Golang, Python, Java, and TypeScript. So it's like the language is important, but the most important is the overall knowledge that you have. And also, if you don't know English very well, you still can apply to the jobs. BairesDev it's gonna help you to. BairesDev it's gonna help you. But even though, do your part. You should study by yourself
Oh,
and not just wait for.
yeah, like let me add something to this. Like, of course, you should be studying, trying to be better, practicing, because if you put like if you are in touch with the language every day, that's how you get better at it. Like that's why once we start working in this context, we get so much better in like with our English skills. But I want to add something. I joined BairesDev in a recruiting role, and come on guys, don't eliminate yourselves from the process. As I said, you don't need to check all the boxes from the job description. You don't have to like join the interview and go like, I'm sorry about my English. Okay, we'll be evaluating and trying to find a match for you. We have openings for with different requirements. Some of the openings, of course, will require a more advanced level, but some of the openings will not. So don't worry about it too much. Like the recruiter, even if you don't like find like if you're not a match for that specific opening, we're still gonna try to find another openings and another like opportunities for you. So don't lie, be yourself, but like don't eliminate yourself from the process. Don't go like I'm not gonna even try because they need this level of English or these years of experience. Try. I mean, it's free. Go ahead, try. So yeah, I love to hear that and to be able to add this because I've been facing this issue when I was in recruiting, and it's really good to be able to give this message here to everyone watching us. Marcus, thank you so much for the conversation. It was amazing. As I said, we need to move to the Q&A because we don't have a lot of time. But I mean, let me just add a few information here for you guys. As promised, it's time to answer the questions. I see some already. If you're watching us, if you haven't sent them yet, feel free to add them on the comments on YouTube or LinkedIn. It takes a while for them to come here to me, but I'm going to be answering as many as I can. And well, I would like to say that this website that you see on your screen, like on the QR code written on the screen or on that bar that's moving below me here, if you go to that website, you're going to have access to our social media pages, all of them. I'm sorry. Our jobs portal. The jobs portal, there's a button for that there. And this is a place where you're going to see all of our openings. So you can apply to all of them. You can apply to as many as you want. As Marcus has said, like he applied to various openings, but you can apply to one. I don't mind. Apply to as many as you feel like, even if that, as I said, that one that you applied is not the right one for you. If like you have your profile all updated, the data there, do your online tests because that way we'll be able to like get an idea of your skills and your profile. And after you do that, we'll try to find an opening for you, okay? Even if it's not the one you applied. So keep your data updated there, you know? So this is what the applicant site is for. The applicant site is the place where you can update your profile, your resume, do your online tests. Those tests, as I said, are pretty important. I know that like sometimes it takes a while. There's a lot of different tests depending on how many openings and what are the requirements. But those are the only way for us to get to know you before the interview. So do them. I'm kind of a nerdy person. I love tests. I love that kind of thing. So I just did like all of mine in one day. I was tired at the end, but like you don't have to go crazy like me. And also on the applicant site, there's this amazing feature because I see a lot of people who already applied, but they don't know what the status of their openings. you can see the status, like what step of the process are you there, like you are there, and if there's anything missing from your side. And there's also the live chat. So we have a dedicated team that will be like from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. like in Argentinian time zone, which is GMT -3. Well, this team will be there every day to help you with your questions for like regarding your application. So if you have any issues with the test, if you don't know what's the status, if you don't know what's going on, like I see people here saying, hey, when are you giving feedback? If you haven't, like you felt that has been a while and you haven't been given feedback yet, you can go there and see if you are still in the process or not. As I said, we kind of have an always on process. We're always trying to find openings. So, I mean, probably you are. We are trying to find an opening for you. And you can also, like on this website, you also have access to our referrals program. That program is amazing. If you refer someone and that person starts working with us at BairesDev, there's a few requirements, like they need to work with us for at least 3 months. They cannot be on an ongoing process with us by the time you refer them. There's a few rules on the program page. But if like we go there, read the terms and conditions, and if we refer people and those people start working with us, you're going to get bonuses, like dollar bonuses for those referrals. So even if you don't think BairesDev is the right place for you, but it's the right place for someone you know, go ahead, refer them, and that will put some money in your pocket maybe. We also have the webinar survey. Guys, come on, I cannot stress this enough. I've been like begging, I'm begging you, the song. Like every single month here, like please answer the survey, because it's the way for, like, we want to give you even better events in the future, better opportunities to engage and interact with us. So if you want to hear something like a specific topic, understand a little more about something in the tech industry or about BairesDev, drop your suggestions there. What can be better in this webinar? Maybe you don't like me, maybe you love me. Please love me, go there, say you love me. But like, even if it's not the case, go there, leave your comments. We always pay attention to those comments to try to make better editions in the future. And we also have the link to our previous webinars. And now, I know we are a little over time here for a minute, so I think I'm gonna have time for like maybe 2 or 3 questions most. I see one question here. Stefano is asking if there's an office in Belo Horizonte, our city, Marcos. There is not, unfortunately. Like we, BairesDev, do have offices in a few places, but I mean, the offices are not really necessary. Like we work remote, 100% remote all of the time. We can be working from anywhere. Of course, we could go to the office if there was an office in our city, but I mean, I'm not changing changing my cats for any office ever. So I'm staying home. Like, I don't know about you. I don't know about Marcos. You prefer Marcos? You told me something. Okay, I'm gonna expose you later in this webinar. Okay, it's too hot in Brazil, guys. It's too hot in Belo Horizonte. It's too hot in São José dos Campos. Marcos is working without his shirt, and he only puts his shirt on for meetings. He told me this, right? So I mean, I could not do this at the office. Please, let's do this. Let's stay at home.
And today I had
to say that. I had to say that. We were discussing this right before the webinar.
Yeah, and today this is the only meeting that I had today, so I am
amazing.
This t-shirt.
I'm sorry for like putting you inside a shirt, but you look good on that, like so. Okay, I see people asking if we only have openings for developers. Nope, I am not a developer. I mean, when Marcus was naming the like Golang, Python, Java, and the other one, which I do not remember, I'm sorry. Like the only thing I know about Java is that it gives that notification, so you need to update it on your computer. So like, I am no technical profile. I have a master's in cinema, to be honest, and I had a few years of experience with communications and talent acquisition. So that's why I joined BairesDev. I joined in the talent acquisition team. I moved to marketing. Now I'm back into the talent acquisition team. But as I said, we have openings for multiple profiles. So don't worry, if you're not a developer, apply. Feel free to go there and find openings that like match your profile. Okay. I don't see any more questions, to be honest. Oh, if I live in Barbados, can I work at BairesDev? Yeah. I mean, we have people working from over 40 countries. So, I mean, you can like it's not home office, it's anywhere office. Marcus said he'd been traveling, even living in other cities for a while working here, and that's fine, you know. um and I see people asking about like they getting their offers, like wanting to know how when they can start. For that, I would suggest you to go to the applicant site or answering the emails that you got. Okay, just because I don't have the information, every specific case is different. Maybe they're like, as Marcus said, like for his process, they approved him, but they were finding a project. So I don't know if that's your case. You should reach out to our support team. Okay. Do we have any financial jobs? Yep, we have like openings in marketing, talent acquisition, finance, business development, and all other technical like openings, project management, software development, anything like design. So, guys, I don't think we have much time. I need to like finish this webinar. It was amazing to have you here, Marcus. It was amazing to have all of you who are watching us here and participating and sent us uh, okay, I saw Danielle or Daniel. I don't know, like where you're from. I'm sorry, I used my my Portuguese accent. I'm a UX designer. Does BairesDev employ this kind of position? Yep. Last month, actually, we had a UX designer on our webinar, so feel free to apply. And guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you again in the future. And I really hope to see you all joining BairesDev at some point. Marcus, thank you so much. I couldn't be happier to have you here. You were, as always, amazing. And I also hope to be like in touch with you again in the future.
Okay, thanks a lot, B. It was awesome to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye. See ya.
Bye bye.